So I'm going to start with what motivated me to do this, which is basically I was every time going into the SBB app and putting in over here my address and then putting over here where I work and then finding the trip that way. And then I found out that they have a feature called Take Me Home. So this feature would basically take your current location and then bring you to wherever home is. But this doesn't really scale, so you can go here and you can go to Take Me Home address and you can change the address. A little bit buggy, but it worked. And then every time I'm here, I can long click this and click on Take Me Home, and then it kind of does from wherever I am home. But this doesn't really scale, so then I downloaded the SBB preview app, which is over here, and I put the address to the central station as my home. And then when I go from here and I say Take Me Home, then it takes me to the central station. And when I do this Take Me Home, then it takes me to the to my home. The problem with this is that I can only get 2. Actually, I can get 4, but it's very weird and it just doesn't really work well, especially because it takes time to find the current location sometimes. My GPS might be a bit slow, and even worse, sometimes the current location is not really at the station next to my house, and then it takes the wrong station and it gives me weird connections. So I wanted to be able to say from where I'm going. So I tried some regular stuff like going to the browser and just putting in the SBB and putting in from and to. So from Zollikofen to Bern, and then I did search, and I went over here and I did add to home screen, which is pretty simple, and I just added that to the home screen, and then I went over here and I clicked and I found out that no, that doesn't work. It kind of brings you into here, and it doesn't really save that. It just saves it from the caches. So as soon as I close the app or search for a different direction and then go into it, then it's just gonna show an empty search, and I have to again put in everything. So it didn't really do the trick. So if you watch the previous video, then you can see that I got the actual proper parameters from the URL. So and then I went and I downloaded this really cool app called HTTP Request Shortcuts from this really cool developer who actually helped me find the way to get this to work. And this app is open source, so you can see here the source code. It's a pretty nice app, and a lot of people are using it. 100,000 people are using it. So I was pretty impressed from this app, and what I managed to do with it, with the help from the developer, was basically create a shortcut. So you click on the plus over here and you say scripting shortcut, and then you give the shortcut a name, and then you can run some JavaScript here. And as soon as you add the JavaScript here, you can then take this and say place on home screen, and then it would be on your home screen over here. So I created 4 different shortcuts. One is from the central station to my home, one is from my home to the central station, and one is from the work to home and home to work. And to be able to do that, it was pretty complicated actually, because I had to somehow get the time and put it as a parameter. So you can see here the code. It says here I'm getting a new date, and I'm doing something with the options, which is actually not necessary, so ignore that. And then I'm making this function which is adding a 0. So I can add a 0, 1, 0, 2 if the hour is 2 or 1 and not 10 or 12. And So I'm getting from the date, I'm getting the exact hour and the exact minute, and then I'm just putting this URL, which basically says the Fahrplan, which is the trip planner, and search yes, and via from Bern Central Station to Zollikofen, which is where I live, and you can put whatever you want here and here, from and to, which is what I also showed in the other video, to which I was explaining how I found out these parameters. And then you have the date, the datum, and the Zeit. So the datum, you just use the date to kind of get the exact date in the right format, which is this code over here. And then the time, you just use what we did before, getting the hour and the minute. And then the most interesting part is this send intent part, which is just saying type activity, and that's going to open up a specific activity. And in this case, we're just going to say open up this view activity, which just opens up the browser. And in this case, it opens up an app, and we're choosing a browser app, which is Firefox here, and they take the URL to open this app. And that's about that with the code. When you click on play, or when you go and you hit the shortcut, then it will just bring you straight to Firefox, and with the exact date and time of now. So now it's 8:59, and there it is, 20:59, the exact date, and it's taking me from home to Hauptbahnhof. And if I go here and I go from work to home, then it's going to show me here work, this is where I work, to Zollikofen, and here you see it's 9 o'clock now, and it's not 8:59 anymore. And then I can straight away see the connections, which is much easier, so I can add as many connections as I want now very easily. If I just go here and I click on this and I say duplicate, and I go in and I say, oh, okay, where do I want to go? So I don't want to go from Bern Bahnhof, so I just say wherever I want to go to. So let's say Zurich to let's say Geneva, and then I go here, and then if I play that, then it's just going to open up the browser, and it's going to say from Zurich to Geneva now. Yeah. And why I chose Firefox is because in Firefox you can go to the settings, and you can click on one of the settings here that allows you to close the tabs after 1 day. And the only disadvantage of doing this way is basically, if you open it in Chrome normally, then it will just give you a million of tabs, which is what happened with Firefox. Over here I have millions of tabs open, and I don't like that, so I don't use Firefox. So you can choose a different browser that you don't use and just use that browser only for this purpose. And every day it would just close all these tabs anyway, and it won't bother anyone. Or you can just manually also close all the tabs as well, but I let Firefox do that for me. Yeah, that's about it. You can also probably do other cool stuff with this app, but this is how I used it, and serves me well.